Elena had always believed that love was enough. She had given everything to Marcus, her time, her loyalty, her heart, and she had never once questioned whether he deserved it. They had been married for 3 years, and though life was not always easy, Elena held on because she believed in their family, their future, and the tiny life growing inside her. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of small moments to change lives, please stay with us and watch this story till the end. If there is any mistake or shortcoming in our story, please kindly forgive us and support us with your love, patience, and encouragement. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories. And tell us in the comments where in the world you are watching from. Your support means everything to us. At 7 months pregnant, she lay in the hospital bed, her belly round and heavy, her body exhausted from complications that had kept her admitted for the past 2 weeks. The room smelled of antiseptic and wilting flowers, and she waited every day for Marcus to walk through that door with warmth in his eyes. But the day he finally came, he did not bring flowers. He brought papers, divorce papers. Elena stared at the documents in his hand, her vision blurring, her heart slamming against her ribs. Marcus placed them on the bedside table without flinching, without softness, without even a glance at her swollen belly. He told her he had found someone else, that he was done, that he wanted out before the baby came and complicated things further. He actually used the word complicated, as if their unborn child were nothing more than an inconvenience in his schedule. Elena's hands trembled as she touched the papers. She wanted to scream, to cry, to beg, but she did something stronger instead. She picked up the pen and she signed. She would not chase a man who could walk into a hospital room and hand divorce papers to his 7 months pregnant wife lying in a bed. She had more dignity than that, even when her heart was shattered into 1,000 pieces. Marcus left without looking back, and Elena turned her face to the window and let the tears fall silently. She did not know then that the universe was already preparing something extraordinary. Elena had grown up believing her father, Robert Hale, was a quiet and modest man, a retired businessman, who lived simply in a countryside home, drove an old car, and wore the same wool sweaters every winter. He had always kept his finances private, and Elena, who respected his boundaries, had never pried. She knew he had done well for himself once upon a time, but she had no idea of the truth. No idea at all. Robert Hale was not just wealthy. Robert Hale was one of the most powerful and secretive financial figures in the country. A trillionaire whose empire stretched across industries, continents and markets. He had deliberately chosen a life of anonymity to protect his family, and he had succeeded so completely that even his own daughter did not know. When Robert learned what Marcus had done, learned that his son-in-law had walked into that hospital room and served his pregnant daughter divorce papers, something cold and ancient moved behind his quiet eyes. He did not shout. He did not threaten. He simply made a phone call. Within 72 hours, it was revealed publicly that the company Marcus worked for and the prestigious firm, where he had built his entire career and identity, where he had recently been promoted to senior director, where he had been impressing his new girlfriend's wealthy circle, had just been acquired in a silent buyout. The new owner? Robert Hale. Every employee received a letter. Marcus received a different one. Effective immediately, his position was terminated. His access badge stopped working. His company email was deactivated. His expense account was frozen. The colleagues who had celebrated his promotion now watched in stunned silence as security accompanied him out of the building with a cardboard box. His new girlfriend, who had loved the idea of dating a high-powered executive, did not return his calls that evening. The world Marcus had built on arrogance and betrayal collapsed in a single afternoon. Meanwhile, in the hospital room, Robert Hale sat beside his daughter and held her hand. He told her everything about the money, the companies, the empire he had built in silence and kept hidden to give her a normal life. Elena cried not because of the wealth, but because of how deeply her father loved her, how quietly he had always protected her, and how she had never truly seen the magnitude of the man sitting beside her. She delivered a healthy baby girl 3 weeks later. She named her Grace, because that was what had carried her through the darkest moment of her life. Marcus attempted to reach out twice after losing his job. Both times he received no response. Elena did not hate him. Hatred requires energy, and she had a daughter to raise, a father to know again, and a future to build. She moved into a beautiful home her father helped her find, surrounded by people who chose her fully and completely. She learned that love was still enough, but only when it came from someone who was also enough. And Marcus, sitting alone in a smaller apartment, scrolling through job listings, finally understood what he had thrown away. Not the money, not the connections, but the woman who had signed those papers with Grace and never looked back. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness True Stories, where every story reminds you that goodness always finds its way back to those who deserve it.